All right. Guess I could turn down that and turn up, but okay. All right. Let me get in some quick hellos in here and get going. You can see the new scales here. I was just playing with them. Hopefully, I got them right. Yeah. You know, I did them on my laptop without a guitar in my hand. So sometimes I've made mistakes, right? Yeah, that one seems right. Yeah, those are right. Let's see. Who do we have here? Bruce, welcome. Sorry I'm a little late. Nature called. So I was all ready to go, and I'm like, no. I don't think I'll be able to sit here through 2 hours without going to the bathroom. Of course, I could just leave the jam track running and you guys could just work on stuff I'm showing you. That actually would probably be a good thing. I should probably leave the room and then you can take a sip as well. Bob Schumann, good to see you. Mr. Benny, good to see you too. Dennis, oh, you're here. Good. Okay. Well, I don't know where you and Holly were, Dennis, but I was on Twitch again on Saturday and had 0 viewers. So I'm not exactly sure, well, I didn't promote it. That was my fault. I didn't go, hey, I'm going to be on Twitch or anything like that. So somebody, actually, Alex, who may jump in, I don't know, he may jump in today. But Alex suggested that I go on Instagram and make a quick little story. Hey, I'm going to be on Twitch at this blah, blah, blah. And that's probably not a bad idea, although most of my, and it's true though, a lot of the people that follow me on Twitch are Bieber fans, and so they might log in, I don't know. So let's see. Who else? Oh, Holly, I said hi. Ed. John, good to see you again. Looking for new names. Darren, good to see you. This is kind of like going to a bar like Cheers or something where everybody knows your name, right? John, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the minor third bend. Yeah, anytime you have a minor third in the scale, and you can see them all over the place. Anytime you've got like on that first pentatonic, that's a minor third. Okay, you can see them there, and then you can also see them like here to there, but it's just not as obvious. But yeah, minor third bends will chew up your fingers. AJ, good to see you. Charlie B, awesome. Welcome. Uniquely extra high Tom, Gary here. Gary. Gary from Silver Springs. That's awesome. I used to live in Potomac, Maryland, so I know where Silver Springs is. Although I was a kid in Potomac, so I never drove. But we lived not too far off of River Road. In fact, not our next door neighbor, the neighbor next to me was, growing up was, oh, dang it. He was an ABC News. I've said his name before, but I can't think. Let's see. AJ. Oh, Renee. Hey, good to see you, Renee. Renee, where are you located? So what we started doing, I showed you, if you go back a little bit, you can see I showed you in basically second position, I showed you 3 Mixolydian scales, one for each of the chords. And we talked about that. Mixolydian, hey, Gary, good to see you. I watched your video with the Reckon the Edmonds Fitzgerald with the PPE stuff on. It was great. I left the comment saying you look like a spaceman. I like you need to do Ground Control to Major Tom. You need to do that song next. That's kind of in your range. You could probably get away with it. I think that would be kind of fun. Hey, Terrence, good to see you. Oh, Diane Sawyer. No, it wasn't Diane Sawyer. No, I could see his face. Shoot. This is stupid. I'm wasting your time trying to use my brain. It's not a good use of your time. But he's as well known as Diane Sawyer. Just not to me at this moment. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Whitney, Texas, in the house. We got a lot of states represented. I've never lived in Texas. Been to Texas. Been to Houston. Been to Amarillo. Been to Houston. Dallas. Houston was the most humid I think I've ever been in my life. It's crazy. Oh, Geraldo Rivera. Oh, yeah. Dang it. He used to host the Sunday morning thing too. I want to say Don, but it's not Don. Anyway, it'll come to me here in a minute. He took us. I was like 7 years old, and he took my sisters and I trick or treating with his kids because I guess my dad was out of town, and my mom had to stay behind and hand out candy, so she couldn't take us trick or treating. So he took us trick or treating. Okay, so let's go over so those are the Mixolydians there, and each one of those will work over each individual seventh chord in the standard blues. The G minor pentatonic is there. You know, I should create just a little. Let me create a little document here with the blues progression, so I can reference it, and you got this just the basic blues. And Holly, you learned the blues by playing basically sitting on the one chord for 4 bars. But I'm going to break up that first 4 bars with so I'm just going to go. Let's see, should I do slashes? I guess I could do slashes. I just don't want this document to get too big. Oops. Or take too long. Okay. And then duplicate, copy, paste, and then that. Okay. Copy, paste. Change this to C7. change that to a slash. I can do this on here, copy, paste, D7. You'll see what I'm working on here in a second. You'll go, oh, of course, with that exact voice. Oh, of course. Okay, I'll just make it bold. Okay, just do a screenshot. Oh, you don't want to do a double line there. Oops. And then like this. You know what? Why do I want to do this? But sorry. You ever have a teacher prepare work for you right in front of you? All right, that's what I did. Okay, so will that go in there? Did I just drag? Hey, it worked. Okay, so I'm going to drag just this little image here of the basic blues progression that we're playing over. And it's going to be really big here for a second. Okay, and I'm going to put it right there. Because that's really what everybody wants. Like, right there. You can still hear me, right? It's not like all of a sudden, as soon as I put this over, you can't hear what I'm saying. You can totally hear saying when I put this over. All right, I'm just messing with you. Fun with technology. Okay, so this doesn't need to be very big. I'm just going to throw this down here in the corner. Okay, and hopefully I did it right. It looks right. Okay. And let's see. And so these are the new ones. Now, what we did last week, the last couple lessons was we learned basically in the third position, second position a little bit, 3 pentatonic shapes. And 3 different shapes that work over the 3 different chords. And the chords in this case are the G, the C, and the D7. And now what I've done, I've gone to the next iteration of these scales and moved them up to the 5th fret. So we're in this neighborhood. And in fact, the nice thing about these 3 shapes right here is there is no shifting. We're not going to have to shift position. Oh, Darren. Can repeat which progressions these go with. Oh, the blues progression. So, and I'm talking about when I was all of these scales. So the G minor pentatonic technically would work on all 3 chords. And it's just the next scale up from this. It's the same as the pentatonic number 1, but this is pentatonic number 2. It's the same notes. We're just in the next shape group. And technically, you can play G minor pentatonic over all 3 of these chords. It'll work fine over C. It'll work okay over D7. It'll work great over G. All right. But if we make a little change and we take the Fs in the G minor pentatonic down a half step, which chords? Yeah, the chords, you mean these? The G mixolydian goes over the G7, the C mixolydian goes over the C7, and the D mixolydian goes over the D7. And let me go to the Discord, and I will upload these chord shapes right now. Okay? I mean these scale shapes right now up there. Under Tom's bookmarks. Oh, okay. 145. Is that you, John, on Discord? You asked a question on Discord. I understand that the 145 are all 7th chords, dominant chords. Each come with different parent key. What about when it's 145 minor 7ths? You can actually have 145 minor 7ths. There are 3 minor 7th chords in every major key, so that could be one key. They do not have to come from different parent keys. And 145 is also one key. But if you add a 7th to those, the dominant 7th makes that unique. So hopefully that. Yeah, I didn't do the colored root notes on these. Sorry, Bruce. Hold on. Why am I not? trying to add, and the add button won't work. That's weird. No, I'll refresh. Weird. So Dennis, I'm trying to add to the Tom's bookmarks, but the plus sign button not doing anything. So I don't know what happened there, but okay, because I'd like to add those diagrams to Tom's bookmarks, just so you know. All right. Oh, it wasn't you. Okay. Yeah. So. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So, and then the D minor pentatonic has an A in it, so we take all the B flats in the G minor pentatonic. The difference between G minor pentatonic and G minor 6 pentatonic is really one note. And the difference between G minor pentatonic and D minor pentatonic is also just one note. Oh, okay, I can copy and paste them. Okay, I can do that, I think. Oh, look at that. It says unknown ping. It's weird. The names didn't stay with them, but that's okay. Okay, so they're up there now. All right. All right, so let's get back to this. Okay, so the idea is that you don't have to make that change. You can stay in G minor pentatonic over the G blues. Or G minor blues, you can stay in that. But if you make a subtle change every now and then, it makes it a little bit more interesting. I wouldn't do it every time. When I was just jamming now for your sake, I was doing it every time because I was trying to show you those scales. But I can play a G minor pentatonic all the way through. Listen to that. Okay, you get the idea. So yeah, you can totally you can play one scale through the blues. That's kind of part of the reason why so many people like to play the blues, because it's actually fairly easy to kind of get up and running on. But one of the first things you'll notice when you're playing the blues, and especially if you're playing in a band or something, you realize how quickly you run out of ideas and licks. So that's all I'm doing here is showing you, okay, here's a source that you can get a bunch more licks from. Hey, Bonnie Lee, oh my gosh. Did I mess you and your husband up when I moved to 9 o'clock? That's probably what happened. So let's see. Little Red Rooster, yeah. Oh, you know, Darren, when I mention things on the fly, yeah, okay, so let's see. Who else is making sure I'm not missing anything here? Question from John K. Root notes. Okay, John, where are you? Where's that? Okay, do you use the root notes if you want to go from the 3rd fret to G minor mix to the 5th fret? Mixolydian or pentatonic? Because I didn't write out the 5th fret. We didn't do the mixolydians. We didn't move those up the fretboard like we're doing with these pentatonics. Pentatonics are a little bit easier. So with the mixolydians, would I use the... Yeah, you could. The thing is, G mixolydian is the same as C major. So I would just see I would just see a C scale, but I would keep in mind that I'm playing over a G chord, so I wouldn't want to be sitting on C notes over a G chord because it's going to create like that tonality quite a bit. Which is not, it's cool, I love it, but that's not the sound we want when we're trying to solo over G blues. Yeah, so quick pentatonic, yeah. So, well, you know, what's interesting, we did a whole series on pentatonics too. Let me pull up that chart and see what lessons were. Here it is. Live stream list. Pentatonic scales. Wow, I did like 14 lessons on that. So if you go back to live stream lessons, 93 through 107 was pentatonic scales. So I talk a lot about that. How we learned a bunch of different shapes, and we learned them up and down the neck and everything. So, and true to anything we do on guitar that doesn't contain an open string, everything we do is movable. So this is G minor pentatonic. This is A minor pentatonic. If you know which one's the root, then it's easy to find. Here's B flat minor pentatonic. Okay, here's E minor pentatonic. E minor pentatonic C. So you gotta scale. You've got 12 scales every time you learn one. Okay, so, but the scale now so the roots are here and here. Yeah, Bruce, I did not put the roots in there, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's practice the scale right now. Okay, so we start with our second finger on, and we are going to stay on the 5th position. So the second finger will always get the sixth fret, and the pinky's always going to get the 9th, and the first finger's always going to get the 5th fret, and your third finger's always going to get the 7th fret. Okay, so we're going to go. Third finger on the 6th, then the 8th fret, then the 5th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, and there's a G root. There's the first G we have. 8th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. Now normally, if I were to play in this scale, I would probably go ahead and shift my hand up so that I've got more the dominant first index and middle finger, or index and ring finger, to finish out the scale. But just for kind of scale purity at this moment, we're going to go ahead and use our 2nd and 4th finger, okay? So we're going to go 5th fret, 7th fret, and then 6th fret, 8th fret, 6th fret, 8th fret. So backwards, pinky, so at the 8th fret, then 6th, 8, 6, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8, 5 again, and then 8, 6. Sorry, a little woofy. The C notes are always woofy in this room. Okay, so the G's are here at the 4th string, 5th fret, and up here, an octave up. So those are our G roots. Okay, so those are G's, and that may be one way to find this scale if you know the notes on the D string or on the B string. Those are usually the strings you kind of like, I don't know. You know, you always know the bottom two. You learn those first, and you learn the top one because it's the same as the bottom one, but it's those middle strings that are a little harder to learn. Okay, let's do the G minor 6 pentatonic. So what we're doing is, if we look at the scale, the very top scale there, when we were playing this last one, we started on the B flat one, B flat, C, D, F, G, okay? We're gonna take that F down to E, and what that does is that E is the third of the C7 chord. Okay, it's the E of that C7 chord. So normally we would, if we just played G minor blues, we wouldn't even we'd have a D and we'd have an F, but we wouldn't have an E or even an E flat. Some people say, well, why don't you play a C minor pentatonic over the C? And that works fine if you're in the key of C, but for some reason when you're in the key of G and the C is the 4 chord, to me it doesn't sound very good. Something about it, having that E flat, just, even though it's, if I was in C, I would use it all the time, okay? But if I'm in G and C is the 4 chord, to my ears, it doesn't work as well. Okay, oh, sorry, I missed, okay, wait, Bruce, John Y, where's John Y's question? Tritone question. Oh, when would you want to add the tritone note on the scale being played over the dominant sub? Well, the interesting thing is, I find that the tritone note, which you're talking about the blues note. So if we're adding the flat 5 or the sharp 4, flat 5 is a better way to think about it, I think, just because we're playing blues. And I didn't write that scale out. I could have written that scale out, but that blues tone, one of them is right here. Okay, so if we were to play this scale again, and I'm not going to get any other blues tone than this one. There's 2 of them here, but I'm only going to play that one. So start again at the beginning here. 6th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 8th fret, 5, 6, 7, and then 6, 8, 6, 8. I could also get that one up there. That's that one I might get. I would do that one a lot. Let me just tell you right now. The one I probably wouldn't is probably this one down here. For one thing, it's low and it's out of position. You have to either get it here or here. It's just not going to be convenient. Okay. So that works great over that note there. Works great over the G. Right? It also works really good over the C. Okay, so let me show you this. Let me just do G to C on this jam. Okay, let me just do the first 2 bars, and I'll start out by just playing the G minor pentatonic. Oh wait, I got to get it going. Okay, so G to C, and then G to C, so on and so forth. So I'm just playing pure G minor pentatonic. Now I'm going to play the minor 6 pentatonic over the C. Okay, now I'm going to add that blues note. I kind of like the way it sounds over the C. It's technically a C sharp you're playing with that blues, but it really does telegraph that you're going back to the G chord because the song is in the key of G. So you're going to probably start on a G chord and you're probably going to end on a G chord. So that it's still stronger over the G7 chord than it is over the C7 chord. That tritone is still going to be stronger over I think over the G chord than over the C. But it works. It works over the C. It doesn't really work over the D chord though, because you're playing technically a D flat and a D dominant. But what does work is if you want to add the blues tone, the flat 5 to the D minor pentatonic, which is weird because it's a G sharp, but we're not over a G chord. We're over a D chord at that moment. Oh, awesome, Peroni. I'm glad. I mean, one of the great things about learning anything is that when you see some progress, it gives you hope in general in life. That's what I love about practicing new skills or new, things like that. It's like, I'm probably not going to take, I'm not going to play, I can't really play golf. It's too hard on my hands. Whenever I play golf, my hands are sore afterwards. Like the next day, it's like my wrists, my hands, because I don't play enough. And that's not good for a guitar player. Tennis, I don't have a problem with, but I haven't played tennis in quite a while. But it is fun to like practicing something and seeing actually some gains and getting better and everything like that. So, yeah. So John, hopefully that's the question you were asking me about that tritone. So a minor pentatonic is not a blues scale. A blues scale has one more note in it. And I mean, I don't know, I don't have a name for this one, but you could call it the super blues if you want to add the flat, the major 7th as well. So you could do. Right? But I don't think that has a name. Okay. No, actually, it's Bob. It's because I was holding the club too loose. I know how to. Yeah, I know how to hold a club, and I had really good. I had a student that was a scratch golfer, and he took me out and taught me a bunch of stuff. You know, we trade lessons for golf lessons and guitar lessons and stuff. And he showed me everything, and it actually. I feel like if I was holding the club tighter, it wouldn't hurt my fingers. Actually, my fingers didn't hurt when I was using improper technique, and then when I had a teacher show me the right way to do it, it was shortly after that because the club was so loose in my hand, it was bending my fingers in weird ways, and I just like I can't bowl either. I used to bowl, and I can't do that anymore. I got to protect my hands. I don't know if it's yeah, my finger killing exercise. Yeah. Yeah, we should warm up on that sometime. Dang, nice, Bob. Yeah, that's great. I never got anywhere near that. In fact, I never even kept track because it was never that good. So it was fun, though. I loved it. I loved when you live in a city, playing golf is really nice because you forget what it's like to walk on grass. You know, you're just always on sidewalks or streets or whatever, parking lots, you know, and then you get out in the golf course and you're like, wow, I love walking on grass. There's something about that. So I really miss it. I do miss golf too, but I might do some 3-par, but there's a lot of 3-par courses in LA because land is so scarce. Okay, so let's do the minor 6 pentatonic. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to assign the 5th. That's why we're in 5th position. We're going to assign the 5th fret to the first finger, or the first finger to the 5th fret, second finger to the 6th fret, third finger to the 7th fret, and fourth finger to the 8th fret. And that will stay true all the way down the scale. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and add the blues note here, and I'm going to go ahead and add it up here. So we'll talk about that in a second. Here we go. 6th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. So that's one of the changes. There's where we would have gone to F, but we're going to E, again, to accommodate that E in the C7 chord, okay? Okay, then we're going to go to 5th fret, and then we're going to the 8th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 8th fret, 6th fret, and 8th fret. All right? And let's go descending. 8, 6, 8, 5, okay? 7, 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 8, 6. Okay, let's do it again, and I'll add the blues notes in, okay? 6, 8, because this is a new scale for you. 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 6, 7. 7, 6, 5. And then 5, 8, 6, and then pinky on there, and then go up to the 9th fret if you want to get that blues note. And I use that lick a lot. Usually what I do is I kind of slide up to it, I go. So try that. So notice I've moved now. I've changed positions. I lied before. I'm now in the 6th position just because your index and third finger are going to be a little bit more strong and dominant. Boy, the clouds or the wind or something. I think the wind's blowing trees. That's what light's flickering in here. More strong and more confident and dominant than your middle finger and your pinky. Okay, so when you get it to that point of that scale, you can move up there because you're going to spend more time up here in this scale than you are down here anyway. So Okay, so what I'm doing is let's see, sorry, 6, 8, 6, 8, slide up to 9, back down to 8, and then back down to 6, and then end on this note, which is the G note. Give it a nice wiggle. So, yeah, it's probably the alien invasion. You're right. Holly likes those little slide things. Okay, and so let's do the D minor pentatonic, and then I'll show you the blues note in that too. But we're going to just start with the pure D minor pentatonic. Yeah, it's pretty windy out there. I don't know what. I could shut the. I guess I could shut the blinds there, but okay. All right. Let's make sure I'm not getting any. All right. So. So the pentatonic, the D minor pentatonic, you could play up here, right? Take that pentatonic number 1 shape and just go right up to the 10th fret so your first finger is on a D, and that's the notes we're going to play. But instead we're going to play them down here in the 5th position. So here's how you would do that. It's kind of bugging me. I'm going to go ahead and shut this because it's just like too much. All right. So 5th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 6th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, and 8th fret. And the difference between the D minor pentatonic and the G minor pentatonic is all we do is we took those B flats and moved them down to A's. So instead of having actually 3 B flats, we have 3 A's where we used to have 3 B flats. Okay. Let's see. Yes, I'm wearing pants, but they're holy. Let's see. Yeah, I like the fretting out trick when you do with the slide. Yeah, that's fun to do too. Yeah, I just learned that. It's just funny. I never thought to do it. I thought that was what you're not supposed to do with sliding, but then what's his name does it all the time. Okay, so and if we were to do the blues note in this scale, it would be here on the 4th string, 5, 6, or. But it's a little bit more tricky here. But this one I might use. But I don't, and I might use this one too if I slid up. I can show you that in a second. Okay, so let's do descending on this one. 8, 5, 8, 6, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, and there's the D. There's a root. 8, 5. Okay, so here's one D right here on the 5th fret of the 5th string, and the 7th fret of the 3rd string is the other D note. And if we wanted one more, it's good to know that that one's up there at the 10th fret. Okay, not too far away. Yeah, Dennis is driving down 110 miles an hour on the Autobahn while watching this video. You've got it projected up on your windshield, right? So you can keep your eyes on the road. I just go, wow, look out! Let's see. Oh, they're getting on the car talk now, so I don't know much about car talk. So, all right. So again, then there's a 1-note difference between G minor and G minor 6th pentatonic. There's a 1-note difference between G minor pentatonic and D minor pentatonic. So you can see those up there. Over here, you've got the G, B flat, C, D, F are the 5 notes that are in G minor pentatonic. Okay. And then we take that F and we lower it down to E, and we get a much more inside scale for C7, for the C7 chord. We have G, B flat, C, D, E. And then we go back to the G minor pentatonic, and we take those B flats down to A's, and we get this G, A, C, D, F. And that would be technically a D minor pentatonic, but I started it on the G note, but it's really a D minor pentatonic. I started on the G note just so you could see more easily the actual notes that are changing here. Let's see here. Oh, we got a good showing right now. All right, so let me do a little playing. Hopefully you can hear me talking and playing at the same time. Get rid of the piano. Okay, and the progression is below G. Second line of the progression down here, right there. C7. 2 bars of C7. I've recommended this from the day we started talking about blues. Really think you need to practice playing the progression. I have that video. Where are you? I'll post that right now so that you can play along, okay? And play not solo necessarily. If you're just new to this, I always say I want you to practice this progression 1,000 times. All right, and I want you to be able to do it 10 times in a row without messing up at all. And because what happens is it's kind of a weird progression. We're used to 4-bar chunks or whatever. This is 12-bar blues, and each of the 4-bar chunks is different. If you look at it, it's like it's 1-4-1, and then it's 4-1, and then it's 5-4-1-5. It doesn't ever do the same thing twice within the progression. But the reason you want to be able to play it without making any mistakes is so that others will jam with you. If you make a mistake every time, no one will want to jam with you. And the other reason is that way you have the progression so ingrained in your head, you don't need to think about it when you're soloing. And that really, really helps, because then you're not like, where am I in this? And then of course, assuming you're playing with someone who's playing it right. That's the other thing. But that's why I did the jam track. But the jam track's a surrogate for you jamming with a friend. And I know we're in the COVID area, but you can jam 6 feet apart, so don't worry, with masks. So don't worry. Okay, so we pentatonic 1. Now I'm going to the minor pentatonic, minor 6. Back to the minor blues note. Blues. Leo, good to see you. I do that lick a lot. So so did Steve Ray Vaughan. Here we come to the D chord, the C chord, with a high D for that D chord. But I can play that G minor 6 pentatonic over the G. It sounds great. hard because I'm really trying to stick with the scale at the time. I mean, I'm not able to. I'm having to use too much of my thinking brain and not enough of my feeling brain. You know, my feeling brain would tell me to go all over the fretboard. Might tell me to go to mixolydian here or there. Might tell me to stay on G minor pentatonic the whole time. And again, G minor pentatonic will work over this chord, the blues chord progression down here, fine. But there's a couple times where you'll be like, oh, something's not quite right, something's a little odd, and you can fix that by maybe inserting these scales into your playing. Okay, good rhythm pattern to use. You know, it doesn't really matter. I did the bass is swinging. It doesn't really matter if you just hit 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. You're gonna ingrain it in your head. If you want to do like a swing, so let me see if I get. You know, that might be a little on the busy side. You could do 4 chops. You know, chops of 4 downbeats. Of course, there's a delay. Dot of 8. So that could work. You could also do 2s and 4s. So you'd be kind of like matching the drummer here, right with the snare hit. And that particularly works good if you play up high. Sorry, I'm getting my windows in order. Yeah, it's less relevant what pattern you use, and there's a bunch of good ones. You could even do the typical kind. If you want to do something like that, you could totally do that. Sorry, I want to change something. I want to get rid of the delay on that guitar sound. It's a little on the annoying side. I don't know if you hear it, but I hear it. Probably. Now I'm missing it. And now I'll add some reverb, but I'll do it over here. Let's see. Reverb, where are you? Let's see, Valhalla plate. That's a good way to start. I love the Valhalla reverb. That's too much. Yeah, not bad. I'll go down a little bit, make it a little smaller room. Okay, that'll have to do. All right, so yeah, so I don't know if that answers your question or not, but yeah, any rhythmic pattern is fine. Quarter notes, 2 and 4s, which would be, you know, kind of the chopping wood kind of thing. Well, chopping wood be downbeats, like that. You could add a little shuffle on the end of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. You know, something like that. If you're by yourself, I mean, if you're jamming with a track, it really is less relevant. If you're playing with somebody else, the 2/4 thing won't work. If it's just you and another guitar player, you're not going to want 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. With nothing else going on, that's eventually going to start to sound like 1 and 3. So if you now, yeah, the other thing is you can get a drum machine. You probably get a free drum machine for your phone. In fact, if you have an iPhone, you probably have a GarageBand on there, and you could probably just loop a beat. And I'd much rather play with a drum loop than with a click. I even do that when I'm writing. If I'm coming up with guitar hooks, I like to have a beat. I might build a beat, or I may just put a loop in and just play along with that. At least gives me something to get some inspiration from. Does that make sense? A boogie-woogie pattern. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, because that was the piano bump. It was a piano thing. Boogie-woogie is a kind of a piano genre. You know, it would be like, you know. But that's the boogie woogie thing. Yeah, I think of it as the guys on the left hand doing that. But that is definitely one feel you could do. But you could even just do 1, 2, 4. Especially if you're struggling with changing chords quick. But I would hit all the downbeats. So I would make sure you at least hit 12 chords. 4, 2, 3, 4. And just practice it, like I said, so you have it so ingrained that you know what's coming next. So that when you go to solo, you don't need to think about it. You just need to feel it. And that's when you're much more likely to get into a zone that you would like you're playing if you're not having to think. Always the case. Yeah, and this one is 80 BPM right now. I can change it because I can change it easily because everything that's playing here is MIDI. There's no audio. I mean, even if it was audio, I could change it, but it would take a second. So that's 70. Okay, let's look at snippets because everybody was waiting for the snippets. So when we did the previous pentatonics, these here, okay, if you remember in the middle two strings we had a snippet that was 3 5 3 5 for the G chord, and then 2 5 3 5 for the C7 chord, and then 3 5 2 5 for the D chord. Okay. And that is the exact same snippet we're going to have up here. The nice thing about it up here is now we're further up. We're an octave higher, so we're going to be a little bit more able to cut through in a live setting, playing with other players. Okay. Good day, mate. Iced coffee. Are you from Australia? Is it really late, or is that where you're originally from, or is that where you are now? Because in Australia, it's got to be like, I don't know, 2 in the morning. I mean, Australia probably has three or four time zones. So, okay. So let's look at the snippet here. We're going to go ahead and use our index and ring finger. 6, 8, 6, 8. So that's the top two strings of, whoops, wrong pentatonic. Here we go. Okay, top two strings of that pattern, the top pattern right here. Not there. Over here. That pattern, okay? 4:30, oh man, dude. Are you an insomniac or are you just... Okay, so there's our little snippet. And there's a G note right there. So we do have a G root in this particular snippet, and this is over the G minor pentatonic. Now, I really like this. Who brought it up? Who brought up the blues note? John, was that you? I think it was John. You can go, if you want to go there, you can totally do that. And notice I shift. I'm not using my pinky. I can use my pinky. I probably should give it a little workout, but I feel a little bit more confident when I use my third finger, second finger, and first finger for that lick. Okay. I mean, it's not. That's kind of a common thing I might do over the G chord. Okay, so let's look at that. Just play that snippet. There's our G. Remember, that's your G. There's your 7th. That's a nice note. Here's the flat 3, which wants to go to, if we were playing in Mixolydian, we would have B natural, not a B flat. Okay. All right. So, and then the next snippet is the top 2 strings of the G minor 6 pentatonic, which would be 5, 8, 6, 8. And again, we have a root. The root this time for the C 7 chord is up here. There's a C. There's a tritone right there too. You see, we have the third of the chord, and we have the 7th right here. So you get a little tritone thing. And you can totally. We miss you too, Bonnie. Say hi to Jim for me. So you can see where, you can hear the difference. You can even just practice it like that. Sounds like a Journey song or something. I mean, a Rush tune or something. Okay, then the D minor pentatonic. So if we go back to our G minor pentatonic snippet, we take that 6th fret of the 1st string down to the A, that B flat down to A, we go to the 5th fret, we get 6, 8, 5, 8. And there is no D there. So if we want a D, we can go there, or we can go up to there. But a G note is in all 3 of these. There's a G note in all 3 of these, and there's a C note in all 3 of these. So that's nice to know. These 2 notes don't change at all. So play G minor pentatonic, G minor 6 pentatonic, G minor pentatonic, G minor 6 pentatonic, G minor pentatonic, D minor pentatonic, G minor pentatonic, D minor. So we're just taking that B flat down to A, and we make a D minor pentatonic. And go to a D note right there. Okay. Let me play. Oh, we got it going slower too, which is nice. So here's this a little bit slower, 70 beats per minute. I'm going to go back to the beginning now. All right. Sorry, let me get my windows in order here. Okay. Rick, that's funny. Rick chimes in. Rick hasn't chimed in the whole time except to say he was tripping when he went to see Rush. Right? Is that the first time? Oh no, there you are. You said hi. Okay. Craziest first opening salvo in on the live chat belongs to. Here comes the D chord. Very common. Sorry. I left a little snippet. let's let me maybe create a one chord vamp here, and so it's just G. All right, and then I'm going to play a lick, and you just copy me, okay? Holly likes this, so I have to do it for her. Okay, so let's just start with an F to G. Let's go G to F. Love the way that dominant seventh sounds over the seventh chord. You're really acknowledging that seventh is in that chord. So you play the root. That's the most inside note you can play. Right? But the seventh is a little bit more outside, but still in. The more you sit on it, the more tension you create. You don't actually have to resolve it. Music is all about tension and release, but you're the arbiter of how much tension there's going to be. A little bit of tension, very little tension. That's very little tension. There's a lot of tension. Right? And there's the release. Okay? Isn't that cool? 2 notes. You can have an entire conversation with 2 notes. You probably couldn't have an entire conversation with 2 words. That would be a little bit different. Okay. Let's go to that B flat. Okay, remember that B flat is outside the chord tones. There's a B in the song in the chord, but there's no B flat. So it wants to go there. It wants to go to B, right? And that's inside. It's not as inside as the root. So I can play the B flat and then the G. Okay, that's a lot like B.B. King going like that, but it's up here. I'm just playing 1 note. I'm laying my finger across the string just to deaden them, so I can get a lot of. So hammer on the C from the B flat and go down to the B. Bruce. Or Brian W., sorry. Okay, and then if you want to get more inside, you can resolve that, but that's not part of the scale. Play G, B flat, G. Slide up to that G, maybe do that. So I'm sliding up to the G from the F. Alright? And then I'm hitting the B flat. Try that. One more time. B flat. Okay, now check this out. Interesting lick. I'm going F, B flat to G. So resolving to the G chord. Yeah, it's alright. Just don't look at the screen, Veroni. Use your ears. So that seventh and that flat third creates some tension. We can also play the third and the root together, that flat third, the B flat, and the G. Watch this. Just hit 2 notes. Try that. G, G, B flat, C. Just bend it up a little bit. Doesn't even have to go all the way up to that C sharp. You can just go out halfway there is totally legit. Almost more legit, actually, if you don't make it all the way to the C sharp. I'm just matching the rhythm of the bass. And that's kind of one of the things, the cymbal crash, one of the things you do when you're playing in a band, you acknowledge each other. You know, you're kind of having a conversation within the band. One of the things I really love is like, if you're in the middle of a solo, or you're soloing or whatever, and you go into say you go into some kind of redundant, repetitive lick, right? I mean, it could be like the, Stairway to Heaven, or Freebird or whatever. Sam Donaldson. That's the neighbor in. Like from the conversation from over an hour ago. It was Sam Donaldson. Oh, put up a Discord link. Thank you. I'm going to send it. This is the Discord link for where we carry on a lot of the conversations. Here's the intro. Where are you? I got to find it. I got to find the link. Here it is. Copy. All right, so a lot of people are on right now the Discord link. We have 219 members. That's pretty good, though. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so that shouldn't expire. Billy Gibbons, hybrid, 7th fret, high E, 8th fret, B string. Sounds good. 7th fret. Oh. Yeah. That would be a major. That would be a dyad, a major dyad. That would have the B and the D, the G and the B. So creating a major chord. All right. So all right. Now, where are we? Back to here and here. All right. So so what I was saying about playing with other musicians. One of the things that happens is like I could go, I could be singing. If I do that for 4 of those, nothing's probably going to happen in the band. But if I keep going, the drummer's probably going to go. He's gonna imitate it, or the bass player might go instead of imitate it. It's one of those things that just kind of seems to happen naturally when you're playing with musicians that are all listening to each other. They're like, oh, okay, because you're actually almost, when you're doing something like that, you're really feeding them, and you're saying, here, jump on this bandwagon, A lot of times, too, the other thing that will happen is, like, say you're playing a blues. You might go to like a double time. You all of a sudden might go to... You're playing slow. You might go to... The drummer might go to double time and then drop back down into the slow feel. those kind of things just happen organically, especially if you've been playing with musicians a long time. If you watch videos of like Stevie Ray Vaughan and stuff like that, you can see them kind of. He doesn't have to look at them. He just does something, and they kind of know it. It may be something they did in every show, and we just don't know. But sometimes I liked, when I was leading worship, I would do what was called programmed spontaneity. So from the congregation standpoint, it looked like we were being spontaneous, like we suddenly all did the same thing or whatever, but it was different than normal. But it was written in the chart. I called it programmed spontaneity, one of my favorite oxymorons. Yeah, Sam Donaldson's still around. Yep. Yeah, he still does the pundit stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was funny because he was just, I think, he was just, at the time, this would have been in the late 60s, he was probably either a local newscaster or I think he was a White House correspondent, maybe for ABC, even back then. Probably says on his Wikipedia page. I remember our next door neighbors who was, he was a doctor. I told you the story about where I'm going to stop teaching now, so I'm tired. I told you the story about when I was growing up, and the doctor, he was a surgeon, and he had a Corvette, and he had a siren in it. And me and my best friend Will, Will, like I was like 7 and he was like 6, and Will's dad would take us to like get ice cream and put us in the Corvette. So two of us would be sitting in the front seat, probably without a seatbelt at all. He would throw the siren on, and we would go to get ice cream really fast. And we'd get ice cream, we'd bring it back really fast. Actually, probably ate the ice cream there. He probably didn't want us eating ice cream in his Corvette. But he had a red Corvette, and it had a siren built into it because he was a surgeon. So, yeah, I've told that story before, though. Gosh. Trying to think of what stories I told you I had one I thought of the other day, but I didn't text it to myself like I should have. Let's see. Yeah. We went to Starbucks today, and I was missing my mom and my dad because I used to call my dad, every, once a week or twice a week, and I called my mom almost every day when I would walk to Starbucks. And I'm missing them. I can't do that anymore. I don't have anyone to call. I don't want to bug my kids. And I see my wife all the time, so I'm like, oh man, it stinks, And I've had a lot. I was just thinking about my friend Rick too, who played with. Where's Diane? When we need. Oh yeah, we haven't had Diane in a while. Diane hasn't been around in a while. I know, she always inspires it. So let me think. Start throwing out subjects and see if it sparks a memory of something. Want to read a good joke? I don't know, Peroni, I'm afraid. I don't know if I want to read. Hey, Daniel, thanks for the lesson, Mr. Strahle. Stay healthy. You too, Daniel. You sound like you're 15. Mr. Strahle, you might be. I don't know. You could be 97 and just respectful. So you're welcome. But join us every week. I mean, now I won't dad jokes. Oh, you're 36. Okay. Well, you're a respectful 36 and making me feel really old. No, it's fine. But yeah, so if you go to the Discord, I posted, I think on Tom's Bookmarks, I think it is, right? A list of all the live stream videos I've done so far, pretty much, like in groups. I tend to do them in chunks. Is it in there? Oh, it's not there. Where is it? It's somewhere else. Is it general chit chat? Boy, it may be hard to find. I may have to update it. I did update it. I may have to re-upload it. But you can also scroll through it. what I try to do is I make the lesson number, and then it'll be in all caps. The lesson, it may say pentatonics, it may say, um, you know, oh, that's awesome, Ed. I'm so glad. Um, I mean, the blues are fun to play over, and everybody understands the blues as soon as you go into it. And there are a lot of songs that are built around the blues, jazz, rock, blues, country songs. A lot of songs are built around. Give you a mirror. Good to see you, man. Um, okay, so throw out some subjects here. See what I can. I know we got to do the jam thing again, Josh. We will. Well, he was here Sunday. We should have done a live stream. I wasn't even thinking. We haven't done that in a while. So I may have him over. We may do that next time he's here. We'll jam. Usually he's here. Uh, then Friday I probably won't do my live stream Friday because I'm going to be busy. But I will be Wednesday. Okay. Maybe I'll do Saturday morning in lieu of Friday. But I'm probably going to continue on this specific lesson. We're going to maybe do a little bit deeper dive on these. And maybe, Bruce, what I'll do is um, I'll um, I'll rebounce these diagrams of the scales with the roots highlighted. So what I'll do is on the G minor pentatonic, I'll make the G notes blue. On the G minor 6 pentatonic, I'll make the C notes blue. And on the D minor pentatonic, I'll make the D notes blue. Okay? I'll try to remember to do that. Yeah, I'm here every day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, generally 9 a.m. So I'm going to mess up everything by 9 a.m. Friday. People are going to show up. There's a chance I might be able to do something remote, but I won't be here. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I can do it on my phone. So yeah, and there are other jam tracks we've done. Let's see, where are they? Two. We did the six. We did the six. Oh, let me grab it here. This jam too. Get shareable link. And this jam would be more of a diatonic thing, major scales. Major scale will work all the way through this. Basically, it was an E minor, C, G, D progression, basic pop progression, and that was the progression I was using when I was talking about soloing. So that's kind of why I uploaded it, so you could practice to that. So you can always check that one out. Okay, somebody throw out some subjects here. Let's see. Oh, Gary, you'll be going. Oh, Wisconsin Mardi Gras. Isn't that also called Oktoberfest? Oh, deer hunting. Oh, I see. Wisconsin Mardi Gras. Sometimes referred to as deer hunting. With your 88-year-old dad. Yeah, my dad would be 80. We'd be 88 also this year. He would be. Let's see. No, he would have just turned 89. I think, right? He was born in 31. So yeah, he would have turned 89 this year as a bummer. He died at 79. So he died. It'll be a 10 years this next summer, July 13th. I remember the date. I had just turned 50. So, I have 50 years with your parents. That's pretty darn good. So many people don't get anywhere near that. So I'm very blessed. Yeah, I know Oktoberfest is German, but they celebrate it they totally celebrate it in Wisconsin. A lot of Germans in Wisconsin, a lot of Germans in Michigan. There's a town in Michigan called Holland, Michigan, Dennis, and they have windmills and giant clogs, giant wooden shoes. Look it up. It's pretty funny. Indiana has a Lebanon, Indiana. They have a Brazil, Indiana. They have a Mexico, Indiana. Everyone in Indiana wishes they lived somewhere else. It's really funny. That's funny. Opening day, opening day of hunting. And are you hunting? I'm assuming deer, venison. I'm assuming you eat venison. I've never gone hunting. I've not really wasn't ever really into guns. My dad had like a BB gun that he would use to shoot like squirrels in the backyard that were getting on the bird feeder or gophers if he saw one. But for the most part, yeah, we that wasn't a part of our daily life. A white-tailed deer. Okay. Wow. That's serious. That's some serious stuff, Gary. Um, and but my wife's one of her brothers was a cop, and he had a bunch of guns, and he took me out shooting one time with his brother, and he knew I'd never. Well, let's see. I had been shooting before. No, I hadn't been shooting before that. I don't think very much or ever. I think it was the first time I ever went shooting. And so Jeff took us out, and we went out. It was a winter, and we went out into the woods. And he had a 22 rifle, and he didn't. He just handed it to me like, okay, so here's what you just push it, put this up again, the butt of the rifle against your shoulder, and he goes, now hold on for dear life because this thing really kicks, and be ready. Totally BSing me, right? So I'm like holding on to this thing, and I pull the trigger, and it's like pop. 22. I'm like, come on, man. So then he gave me his service revolver, and they were shooting trees and stuff like that, and he handed it to me. He goes, okay, shoot, and he was showing me how to hold it, and he goes, we were standing next to this creek, and on the side of the creek was this big chunk of ice that had kind of fallen sideways. It was probably 6 feet by 6 feet wide, pretty far away. He said, just try to shoot that ice, It's like, that's a big target. You can hit that. So I'm like, I take the gun and I shoot and nothing happens. And they all laugh like, dude, you didn't even hit that chunk of ice that was right there. And all of a sudden the ice just went into the water. I totally shot it. But yeah, maybe I don't know. That may be it's an American thing, but basically, they hunt all over the world. So for food, it's less necessary in America because you can just go to the grocery store and buy food. You probably go to the grocery store and buy venison, but why not get it for free? So and I'm assuming, Gary, that you uh, That's yeah. It said there used to be 750,000 hunters in the woods, all wearing orange. You'd see it at Packers games if there were any fans allowed. Yeah, I remember that. Um, I bet you there are a lot of hunters right now because they can't go to the Packers games, which is ridiculous. But anyway, um, the you must have do you have a big freezer that you could store? Although a whitetail is not that large, is it? But yeah, that's a lot of meat though. Um, and then, uh, uh, but yeah, I don't shoot anything that breathes. And I've actually never, like I said, I've never gone hunting. I have gone to shooting ranges. I've done that recently. I've got a good friend that's was in the Marines, and he has a whole lot of guns and stuff, and we go shooting. Occasionally, we'll go to a shooting range and do that, which is fun. Oh, handguns. So, um, yeah, the best. My in-laws used to buy with my sister-in-law. They used to go to the county fair. I mean, when you live in the country, this is normal life. But they would go to the county fair and they bid on a cow and they buy a cow, and then they'd have a butcher it and divide it in half, and my in-laws would get half, and my sister-in-law would get the other half, and uh, here I'm going to put this up here. and my sister-in-law would get the other half, and it would last them a whole year. And it was a deal. I mean, and it would be all wrapped in everything and flash frozen or something. And boy, I tell you, we take those steaks out. And those steaks could have been in there for 6 months. We take them out, put them on the grill. Best steak you've ever had, because it's like freaking. As soon as it's slaughtered, it's like in your freezer practically, and that's just crazy. It's like such most amazing steak I've ever had. I don't know. I've tried to replicate that here. It's very difficult. You came from Charlie B came from a hunting family. Sister's an archer. Oh, that's cool. Wow, #1 bow hunter in the world, women's bow hunter in the world in the 70s. That's pretty dope. Yeah, I remember I remember doing archery at camp, but that's my experience with archery, and that was just like with a cheesy bow, not even like with a multiple. Yeah, check her out, Midge Dandridge. Is there probably YouTube videos of her, right? My cousin is the coach for, is it Wake Forest field hockey? What? Forget. She's won several national championships for as a coach for her Wake. I think it's Wake Forest, not Duke. I should know this, but don't really keep in touch. Hard to. And let's see. Okay, so don't forget the tulips. What? My pet chameleon in red, no green. Ooh, actually, oh. I don't know what you're talking about, Pearly. Oh yeah, in Australia, yeah, it's very very difficult to own guns now in Australia. They did the buyback program that was mandatory. Yeah. I mean, if they can't institute something like that in California, they're not going to be able to do it nationwide here. And the gun owners, when I go to like shooting ranges, with my boys or with, the safety mentality is off the charts. I mean, you're not allowed to goof around at all. Nobody goofs around. It's nothing like that. I'm sure there are a lot of people outside America think, it's like Wild Wild West out there or something. But no, the gun ranges are very, 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 very safety conscious and all that stuff. So you would never have an incident like anything like that. But yeah, I remember back when I was a kid living like I said, next to Sam Donaldson. There was one kid that shot a girl in the leg with a BB gun. And, they literally just kind of pulled the BB out. It was in the meat of her calf, BB gun. I mean, you don't want to get hit in the eye. You just shoot your eye out, kid. Even a 22 is not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to stop anyone with a 22. Unless you hit them in a very vulnerable spot. 20, but BB guns are relatively harmless. But yeah, I've never owned a gun. I don't really have any desire to. I mean, unless they get rid of the police, then probably going to have to. So they're defunding the LA police quite a bit. Fortunately, they're keeping our division open. But they got rid of all sorts of divisions that I'm like, really?
Sorry, did I print something?
Oh, did you? You can print something, yeah. Yeah, I'm online.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I thought I printed it. Didn't come here?
No.
Weird. Okay.
No, this is my stuff.
Sorry.
Try it again. I'm up though.
Okay, thank you.
It may be because it's so far away, but it should be on the network, so. Anyway, we're trying to print stuff here. Yeah, the hunting thing is far more common in the suburbs. It's funny, city folk don't really realize where food comes from. They go to Chick-fil-A and they're like, ooh, they have no idea, It's like, it's just not good. You need to know. You need to know where it comes from, I think. It's just, and of course, keep in mind the cities are going to starve to death if all that shuts down. So we wondered when COVID first hit how extreme it was going to be. It's pretty now. Let's see. We got any other themes here? Because guns, I don't have any. I don't really have any gun stories.
Sorry.
That's all right. Second page.
Yes.
I'm a secretary. Oh wait, no. How many did you print?
Now it's going to do all of them? That's hilarious. It's like, never mind.
You kept hitting it?
Probably. That's okay. I'm going to need them for today and tomorrow anyway, so now I'll just be done.
Okay.
So sorry to interrupt you.
All right.
Perfection. Thank you.
Everybody's laughing. Classic cars. Again, do you guys not know me? How long have we been doing these live streams? Okay, my first car was a Ford Country Squire, 1972 Ford Country Squire. And that's about as classic as I've ever been. So I don't know anything about cars. Cameo by Beth, or at least her hand. Stupid expensive wedding wing. Wedding wing. Oh, it's funny. Your buddy shot these flower buds from the tree growing in his house. It still hurt. That's funny. No, you don't need to shoot pigs and cows and horses. No, they don't. I don't know. Did you see No Country for Old Men? That thing it's such a creepy movie. I mean, I love the Coen brothers. They're great filmmakers, but man, I saw that movie like 3 times because I kept saying, oh, you got to watch this movie. And I'm like, tough. And one of the things that made it really good, I thought kind of extra creepy, was there was no score. There's no music, which you don't notice until like somebody points it out. But there was a song at the end, and there might be some incidental like music in a club or something or in a restaurant, but I don't even remember that. And that kind of gives it a kind of accretion. Yeah, it was a station wagon. Oh, it was a fake Woody. Mine was had a fake wood side on it. It wasn't really Woody. It was like vinyl, and but the Woody Harrelson character has that. Was it Woody Harrelson's character? No. I'm sorry. It was the creepy guy. He had that. I thought it was it's like a cow killer or something like that, right? It like, it's like gas powered, and it just boom, basically knocks a hole in your head and smashes your brain. And yeah, it's pretty creepy. You're a Dudist priest? Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that was their movie too. Yeah. That's a great movie too. And it's funny too because they would, for the longest time, they would alternate like between a comedy. Like I don't know if you ever saw Raising Arizona, but it's probably the best, really probably the best Nicolas Cage movie of all time. There are not many of them, but that's definitely one of the best. Nick, you're not watching, are you? I hope Nick's not watching. But they would kind of alternate a serious movie and a comedy. So, Fargo, a dark, and I don't think Fargo's would even qualify as a dark comedy. It's just more of a drama, Oh, take care, Peroni. You better run. Sorry for the bad jokes. Oh, all right. We're used to them. Yeah, exactly. Nick Cage, I'm like, that's kind of, I feel the same way about like Tom Cruise. It seems like he plays you're seeing him in all those movies. Same guy. I don't know do I have a favorite actor? I don't know if there is a favorite actor or actress. I don't really have an opinion on that stuff, Oh no! What's Nick Cage's hair looking like these days? It's crazy because he's Nia Coppola. Technically, he's Nicholas Coppola, right? And he changed his name so that he wouldn't either be compared to his uncle or be, but I mean, in Hollywood, you want special treatment, so I don't think that would be. But Big Lebowski, that's the movie. Yeah, that's a great movie. Big Lebowski's great. I need to watch that again. It's been a while. And yeah, I don't know if I could watch No Country for Old Men again, but I've seen it, like I said, 3 times. So it was. Oh, he looks like a lady now. Well, it's funny because if you look at my older videos, I feel like the beard thing is. I'm just going to keep this because I feel like I look like an old woman without the beard. So I don't know. I'm going to keep the beard. My eyelids are starting to droop too. You can tell, I'm just either tired or old, both. Let's see. What's happening? What else is going on? I'm trying to think of anything else going on. I'm just trying to drum up a little bit of work. It's a little slow right now, so I'm just trying to keep that going on. I got some whatchamacallit, shoot, what is it? Apex Legends stuff coming this week. I know that'll be good. It's always a lot of fun to work on that. Yeah. Well, I think when you get older, you start to look. I don't know. Or main actors. Yeah, it's funny. I've got friends and I've worked on some TV shows and so many of the male actors on shows are more interested in other male actors, which is interesting. So many of the heartthrobs that women, oh, he's so cute. It's like, yeah, he wouldn't be interested in you. So it's just what Hollywood, the people that tend to go to Hollywood attracts. So, my hair, yeah, it's a little thin though. I notice sometimes I can see the top and I go, oh, it's a little thin. But okay, posted a pic or a movie. The most exciting 30 seconds in hunting a Discord chat. Hunting is hours and hours of extreme boredom with possibly 30 seconds of exactly. Well, it's like being those snipers that will literally, like, I guess they're wearing Depends or something because they'll be laying there for 72 hours. I aged like Sean Connery. He's one of my favorites. I mean, I don't know. I just love Sean Connery, James Bond. I can't think of any other Sean Connery movies that really blew me away, but yeah, sure. I would tell Beth, you're a sexy, sexy woman, Mrs. Strahle. So, yeah. I'm probably going to look like an old woman soon. I do, actually. If I don't have the beard, I feel like I look like an old woman. Remember I told you, one of the first comments I ever got was, I didn't know Kathy Bates played guitar. and I had to approve it, and I approved it and just laughed and said, that's the funniest comment I've ever gotten. And he was like, I'm sorry. Oh, I really love your videos. He was like, I was just being snarky. I'm like, that's fine. I thought it was funny. So, yeah, exactly. I had to think, no beard, you'd be Kathy Bates. Exactly. Well, with no beard and long hair, because remember in the early videos, my hair has gone, had many iterations through the years. Yeah, Daniel Craig is pretty good. He's probably the second best Bond, definitely. George Lazenby, he was a Bond for one movie. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the 70s Bonds with Roger Moore were just too campy. I get they were the 60s Bonds, the Sean Connery Bonds were campy, but they weren't that campy. And it just felt like it got sillier with Roger Moore. I mean, when I was a kid, I still ate them up. I mean, I saw every Bond movie when they first came out. Yeah, Roger Lazenby, right? Or no, George Lazenby was on Her Secret's Magic Service. And as a kid, I read the books, which they're kind of pretty much R-rated books. Some of them maybe even NC-17, but somewhere, either my grandparents had them or whatever, I'd be on spring break in Florida and Naples visiting my grandparents, and they had them, so I would read them. And, yeah, I mean, it was Um, I actually, it's funny because when I was a kid, I was a voracious reader, and now I hardly ever read at all except online, which is not good. Hmm. Roger Moore was good as the Saint. Was he the Saint before he was Bond? So this is not guitar at all. People are tuning in like, oh, Tom's teaching a guitar lesson. So how was Roger Moore? Does Roger Moore play guitar? Okay, well here we can talk about this. What's the best movie about music or a top 10? You can't think of your favorite. What's one of the best movies? And I'm not talking documentaries, okay? So not like what's the one with the band? Not documentaries. Actually, like Almost Famous was a pretty good one. The movie The Doors, yes, the drama The Doors, yeah. I never saw that. I have an app. I told you about it. It's called Just Watch. Um, um, let's see. It's called Just Watch. Let me see if The Doors is on anything. Because if you have a lot of streaming services, you don't want to have to go. Is it on? And you're scrolling, you're entering search, and you're doing search on all the different streaming searches. It's a real pain. This is a free software. It's a free app called Just Watch The Doors. Let's see. And it will tell me. Oh, okay, here it is. It'll tell me. Yeah, see, I don't have it on any. It's $3 on Amazon, $3 on YouTube, $3 on Vudu, and that's just to rent. If I want to buy it, I can buy it for $6 on Apple TV, $6 on YouTube, $7, $8. Um, so, Crossroads. Yeah. Is that the one with Ralph Macchio? Crossroads? And Steve Vai? Or is this a different one? Yeah, Ralph Macchio. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. Of course, keep in mind I was a guitar player, so seeing that was kind of, whoa, what the heck? We got up to 59 viewers at one point. I don't remember seeing that. And let's see, Steve Vai was in it, but there was a guitar. Let me see, who was it? Was it? I mean, one of my favorite movies is, this is not really music related, but Back to the Future. I love Back to the Future. Just just love it. And Tim May coached, a session guitar player here in LA, coached, and I've done a lot of guitar coaching for actors. But Tim May coached. Oh, Ry Cooder did the music. I forgot that Ry Cooder did the music for that. Music department. Drum musicians. Alan Roth. Oh, Jim Keltner played drums in it. That's interesting. Arlen Roth played guitar. Okay. It doesn't say who. Oh, well, it might be in a different category. Coaching. Anyway, it wasn't Steve Vai that coached Macchio how to play or how to look like he was playing. It may have been Tim May, but I don't know if Tim May was. Yeah, that would have been about right, because what year was Back to the Future? Was that 84? '85. Okay, yeah. So that was may have been Tim May on Crossroads too. I can't remember. I'll tell you one that I kind of like from a movie that kind of affected me. Let's see, A Spinal Tap, 100%. That's that and Monty Python and Holy Grail are probably my two favorite comedies. But Spinal Tap is amazing, and so many people haven't seen it now. The young people don't even know what we're talking about. I saw Spinal Tap live. I'll tell you about that here in a second. But the one I'm thinking of is Purple Rain. That was a really good. I mean, that's like peak Prince. It was like he did it all himself. It was very realistic. He acted kind of, he did this. I told you about Judith Hill. In fact, I don't know if you saw Judith Hill, who's the daughter of the bass player and the keyboard player at our church that just had COVID, and they tested negative last week. So I played with them again this weekend. But their daughter, Judith Hill, is a pretty well-known R&B funk singer. And she just did, you said Purple Rain already. Oh, shoot, did I miss that? No, no, you didn't. Okay. The crazy thing about Spinal Tap is, most of that dialogue was improvised. And I've had at one point I had why is this still on? Oh, is it? It's out of paper? Whatever. I gotta add paper. All right, stop whining. I'm back to being a secretary. Apparently she printed a bunch more. So we're going to find out. I'm going to go through this whole stack of paper. I'm like, dang it. You ever do that? You hit the print button and nothing happens, and you hit it again, and nothing happens, you hit it again, nothing happens. And then it finally goes through and it prints like 8 pages when you only needed 1. It's like, dang it. All right. Now you can print to your heart's... Well, we'll see. Hopefully you won't run out of paper. But I got to sit here and listen to it print now. That's why it was making noise. I'm like, why are you still making noise? It's supposed to shut off. How many does she need? Holy cow. Huh. All right. I guess that's all of them now. So, Eddie and the Cruisers. Another one too. I saw it in the theater. I guess it wasn't that great, but it was a British movie about a kind of a bar R&B band. They put together a band. Did somebody already say it? The Commitments. That's the one. That's the one I was thinking of, Gearview. Kane, sorry. Who's Kane? Where's Kane? At Kane Spangler. Where are you? I don't see that person you're talking to, Bruce. Oh, I see, Kane. Thanks, Tom, for rewinding. Start from the beginning. Appreciate your help. Yeah, sorry about that, Kane. Kane's like, oh, yeah, Tom's not talking guitar. Yeah, no, I'm not right now. So the Commitments was kind of a fun one. It was, I'll tell you though, there was a lot of fooking this and fooking that, just nonstop. So that got a little annoying after a while, but it wasn't. It was just, it's how they are. Hard Day's Night, yeah. Technically, I guess not a documentary, I mean, Help is even more so not a documentary, but you gotta love seeing the Beatles. I mean, I just love seeing them as young guys. It's so fun. But it also makes me sad just to think, oh, we're all getting old, and someday the Beatles will all be gone, and that's not good. It was funny because I was talking about Judith in a clinic I was teaching. I told you this story. I was talking about Judith in a clinic. I taught a guitar clinic at Saddleback, and somebody asked me, do you transpose songs to be in a more congregational friendly key when I'm leading worship? Which was an odd question, mainly because I was teaching a guitar clinic. I was not teaching a worship clinic. So that question came out of thin air, but I did lead worship. So I do tend, because I don't have a very good voice, I would tend tend to put things in keys that were good for me, and that would be good for most people, because I have kind of an everyman's voice, which makes you a good worship leader. If you've got a really, really good voice and you're show-offy and you can do this huge range thing, you don't necessarily make a good worship leader, because the goal is to get as many people out in the congregation singing as possible. So I said, I'm not a very good singer, but in answering the question, I said, but I often have good singers behind me, and I named a few people, actually famous singers that, like Cindy Bragg from En Vogue, and Denise Williams, and Judith Hill would actually they'd all sung at different times at my church in the with the team. And I said, yeah, Judith, in fact, right now she's singing with Michael Jackson, and somebody says, I just got a text that Michael Jackson died. This was a Saturday morning, and I'm like, what? And someone across the room goes, I just got the same thing. Yeah, Michael Jackson, news story says Michael Jackson. I said, oh no. And I immediately, as soon as I was done with the clinic, I called Pee Wee, and he was telling me, yeah, Judith was devastated, because she'd just gotten this gig. They booked an apartment in London for a year. They were going to do 60 shows at the O2 Arena in London, and he died, and it all got canceled. So, and you can see her in the movie. I don't know that she got paid for the movie thing, which is crazy, because they don't sign contracts saying that any filming they did would be property of Michael Jackson, the corporation, and they filmed the rehearsals, and that's what they did. In fact, the song that she sang with Michael on, they didn't have a mix. They didn't have the Pro Tools session for that. So like you hear all the other songs that he does, and it sounds pretty good. But her song, it's like an MP3 of the room or something. It was interesting. They kind of had to do that. But what's a worship leader? Someone who leads songs in a church. Basically a song leader in a synagogue, it would be cantor. I'm not sure what it would be called in a mosque, but I think they do. It calls to prayer, but it would be different than that. So, yeah, I used to do a lot of worship leading. I still play at church. Lots of Fuki. Yeah. Let's see. Commitments was great. Let's see. Hard Day's Night. What else? Which one? Which one are you talking about? Holly with the cameos of the Seattle Rockers. Singles. Oh, okay. I didn't know. I'll have to look that one up. Singles. Okay, I wonder if Alex knows about that one. Let me look it up on. 1992. Yeah, it'll be right about at the right time. Yeah, no, we're free. I can rent it, but can't. I don't think I've seen this. Although I can see. No, that's just a boombox. It looked like a Marshall head. I'll have to check that one out. Oh, Alex is in the house. Oh, Alex, you have not seen the movie Singles. Alex, have you? She was lurking. Yeah, baby. Yeah, we're talking about favorite music movies. Spinal Tap. Someone mentioned Crossroads. Holly mentioned Singles, which I've never seen, but she says a lot of the Seattle Rockers, and I'm assuming that's Nirvana and such, made appearances in that. Let's see, what's another? Oh, Almost Famous. Like I said, Purple Rain for me is a really good one. I mean, it probably would seem really dated now. And Prince is kind of creepy a little bit, but, he's also kind of endearing at the same time. I'm not sure how he pulls that off, but he does. Inside Llewyn Davis, that's right. That is a good one. That's it is very real. And that's another Coen brother movie, which, again, and that one was a drama, so it was probably bracketed by two comedies that they did. What was the one? Walk the Line. Very good, very realistic one. Also, oh no, Cameron Crowe did. Cameos by Chris Cornell and Pearl Jam. Okay. Oh, that was Singles was made by Cameron Crowe, and that's who also made Almost Famous. right? Didn't Cameron Crowe make? Um, yeah, the Purple Rain is very 80s sounding. But Prince, I mean, the live concert scenes are so powerful, so great, and he creates this kind of David and Goliath kind of thing going on, which is really fun. And I love Morris Day and the Time. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. What's another? So Walk the Line, yeah. Oh, you already said Walk the Line. Sorry, things are going by pretty fast. How do you find the past live streams lessons? Okay, let me see if I can get that link for you. If I go to my channel, and then I click on videos, I think if you just click on videos and sort by most recent, I think this will get you pretty close to it. Try this. Try this. You'll see a lot of videos. So from there you can navigate and go. And if you go to the, I wish I could copy and paste all of this in here. When did I start doing the minor pentatonics? I mean the pentatonic scale. What lesson was that? This is 37. So was it like 35 was the first one of those? Wait, oh here I got it right here. Yeah. So 134, and then basically copy, paste now. 135. 3 pentatonic scales. So yeah, so here's some of the categories I've covered. First, first 12 lessons were the caged method, which is basically kind of the method how I visualize the fretboard and move up and down, whether it be for rhythm purposes or for soloing purposes. Then I did lessons 13 through 17 with modes. Then I did chord theory, circle of fifths, more chord theory, finger picking, blues basics, strumming and grooving. And some of these, strumming and grooving was 12 lessons. The DAD-GAD tuning, I did 4 lessons on that. I did 7 lessons on chord progressions. I did 6 lessons or 7 lessons on open scales. I talked about capoing, power chords, my most influential guitarist, more capo stuff. Pentatonic scales I did for 14 lessons. That may be the longest one we did. Blues scales, intro to slide basic. These are all, I don't know how much I can post in here. Let's see how far it'll let me go. I went over. So let's see. There. Ooh. Okay, so it's not very, you see there's no space before the L in lesson, so it's a little, there's the first 29, just to give you an idea, and then I like to do, see if I can get these in here. Oh, the Wrecking Crew. Did you see that? I love that because it's really kind of my heritage of the work I do. Open scales. Yes. And then, so this is kind of what we've done. This is really the janky way to do it. If I will see if I can post this all on. Let me try to post this all in copy in the Discord page too. So if you join the Discord, and I'll give you I'll put this under Tom's bookmarks. See if I can post all this. Says I can. There it goes. Okay. Let me go to the intro page. I'll grab the link again for the invite. Where are we? All right, so here's the invite. Yeah, that's true. Wrecking Crew is a documentary. You're right, Bruce. So let me play a little bit more on this scale, and I can talk because we. Exactly. Thank you, thank you, Bruce, for doing that. Yeah, it's a kind of a janky way to. I also uploaded it to the Discord. Oops. Here we go. Sorry. Let me start that again. Otherwise, it's going to sound wrong. I'm going to take the piano out, I think. Here's the one chord. So the chord progression is right there on the bottom, down here. Okay? I made it really small. But what I can do is take it and put it here instead. So you don't have to look at my face. You can see my hands better. And you'll notice the blues is, again, it's kind of kind of a disjointed chord progression, you know. It really doesn't, there's no repetition until you get to the end of the thing. So first scale I'm going to use is this one over here. Up there, top. And now I'm going to the G minor 6 for the C chord. See, now I'm going to the minor 6 for the C chord. See you later, John. So I'm just changing, I'm forcing myself in this scenario to change between the, sorry. Oh, that thing you do is a lot of fun. That is a great one, Alex. I love that one. It's a, I mean, gosh, anyone who's ever had a band that maybe got a record deal and got, close can totally relate to that movie and how things just tend to fall apart. I mean, 99% of bands that get record deals, their records never come out or something. I'm sure there's a statistic out there, somebody who's actually done the math on this, but yeah, it's the heartbreak, the excitement and the heartbreak and all of that is in there. It's really good. Tom Hanks did a great job on that. And so, yeah, that one's, I forgot about that one. There's a lot of good movie, music movies. We're talking non-documentary. Yeah, Alex can totally relate to that. His band got signed. It was my fault. I introduced him and got him signed, and it was cool. I mean, they did the whole thing, sitting down and signing the contracts and sitting on top of the, in Century City on the top floor of a conference room overlooking Los Angeles. It was all very exciting and scary at the same time, and nothing ever happened from it. So, but and that's the other thing too. They didn't have Um, you never had a single hit the radio. Never even got that far, and that's pretty much true of most bands. The thing is, to be honest, the name of that band was the Wonders, right? That if you have one hit, if you're a one-hit wonder, which was the funny thing about the name of the band, if you're a one-hit wonder, you probably still can have a career. I think about, those even the 80s one-hit wonders, they tour with a group of other one-hit wonder people, and they're touring around, and then, the fans still love to see them, and, they'll play their hit, and then they'll play their near hit. I mean, we're friends, Alex and I are friends with the leader of Capital Cities, and they had a huge hit called Safe and Sound. I mean, it was in Los Angeles. There's 3 radio markets that it was like charting on. I think it may have been number 1 in all 3. It was Kiss FM, which is top 40, K-Rock, which is alternative rock, and then Star 98, which is kind of in the middle of the two, And I hardly ever listen to those stations anymore, but that was very unusual, and that song was probably number 1 on all 3 of those stations, all 3 of those formats. It got used for years. Was it a Toyota commercial or Nissan? Toyota Safe and Sound. It had a trumpet. Dun, 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 dun. I won't play it, but that was a big smash, and they could, they just couldn't get that second. That second hit is the hard one. If you get that second hit, then you're probably gonna have a third, fourth, and fifth, and sixth. Now, some bands will have one hit, and then they won't have a hit for 10 years, and then they'll come out and suddenly they're like, that's happened a couple times. I'm trying to think of a band that's done that. And there were a couple bands that were big, and then they disappeared for a while, like Aerosmith. And then when they decided to let other people produce them and do other people's songs, and they got off all the drugs and everything, that's when they made a comeback. But let's see. Coal Miner's Daughter, that is a good one. Yeah, that's right. Good acting, too. So with this pentatonic scales, and this is the second set. The first set was here in the previous 2 lessons, okay? This is a 3rd fret, basically, with a couple notes down here in the 2nd fret. But over the G, we play that. Over the C, we play the... and then over the D, Stevie Ray Vaughan would do that all the time. Like I said, B.B. King. And again, the G minor 6 pentatonic works fine over the G7 chord. I should do a different groove, something like that on the rhythm thing. But Mighty Wind. Yes, Mighty Wind is awesome. Now, surely Holly has seen Mighty Wind. Yeah, Mighty Wind. And we bought the soundtrack. So, like, we would listen to it on trips. Like, when we were taking trips up to Michigan or whatever, we would totally listen to Mighty Wind in the car. Just dying. I love the lyrics. Never Did No Ramblin'. It's a song about not doing anything. It's so good. Oh, it's like, why would you write a song? Oh, you have not seen Mighty Wind. Oh, you got to see Mighty Wind, Holly. That's a must. I don't know what streaming services it's on. I can look it up and see if it's on any of them. We own it, so I could see it that way, but let's see. Mighty Wind. Yeah, it's just to rent or buy. Pretty much all of the streaming services, like Amazon and everything. Yeah, it's a must watch. You might actually be able to find it like at a thrift store or something. If you've got a thrift store that has a lot of DVDs, you might be able to find that one because it'd be one of those ones. But that's the same people that did Spinal Tap. In fact, when I told you when I saw Spinal Tap, I literally got called that day by a good friend of mine, and he said, "Hey, my friend has 4 tickets, front row center tickets to see Spinal Tap at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles. Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so because they had an extra seat, someone bailed, so we went, and this group called what was their name? What was their name in the group? Mitch's albums, yeah, they keep getting more depressing. It's one of the best scenes. We got Alex. We got to watch that movie again. Do you have it or do we have it? You have my copy or do we have our copy? Eat at O's, yeah. It is so good. Yeah, it's the best. Yeah, you could rent it, not free. Yeah. Yeah, they are totally nickel and diming us. I hate that when you like find the movie you want on Amazon Prime and then it's like $3. I'm like, wait, why is it even showing up on my Prime account if it's not free? But it's same. It's Christopher Guest is the director, who is Nigel Tufnell in Spinal Tap. So Spinal Tap was directed by Meathead, but all of the other movies with those characters, with those people. Alex, did you tell me what the Folksmen? So yeah, so these 3 guys get out, and they've got, they're all made up and everything, and they come out and they start playing these country songs or these folk songs, and telling these hilarious stories about like coal miners and stuff like that, and you're like, I'm like looking at them going, it's 3 guys, and nobody's really figured it out yet, and they're warming up for Spinal Tap, and all of a sudden I'm going, wait a minute, that's the 3 guys. And so people slowly started to realize, oh wait, that's Spinal Tap, but they're doing a folk thing. It's before Mighty Wind came out. And and my friend CJ is Spinal Tap's music director. So CJ is who hired me to go to Louisville every year. In fact, I need to get together with CJ. It's been a while. We have to get together for lunch or something. Psych is fun, yeah. Not music. Anyway, so Folksman does their show and everything. It was a really, really fun show. Spinal Tap gets up, and of course they do Big Bottom, and they have all these people come out and play bass. And they had famous bass players come out, and they had actors come out. It was like a whole bunch of people. All their friends came out, and they all had basses, and they were just playing bass. Big Bottom with like 25 basses. It was pretty funny. Let's see. Now they did. They also did Best in Show, which I only saw once. That one didn't resonate, but I also really liked Waiting for Guffman, which was the first one of those Christopher Guest movies, the mockumentaries, and it's really fun too. And there's a lot of music in that. I wouldn't necessarily call it a music movie, but it's more about small town theater is what it's really, really about, and it nails it, to be honest, because my wife's my father-in-law was really big into local theater, repertory theater, and he ran a thing. They would do 3 or 4 musicals every summer, pretty big deal, and like 2 weeks of shows and stuff. It was a lot of fun. I kind of saw a little bit of that small town repertory theater thing, and then when I saw it, when Waiting for Guffman came out, it was a little too close to home in some ways. Yeah, you can do that, Dennis. You can do that. I mean, Holly, you can do that. I haven't done that. There's a couple things I'm like, dang, I just watched the whole season, and now I want to watch second and third. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou was a really good one too. Another Coen Brothers movie. Yep. And that would have been, I would consider that one a comedy per se. I mean, obviously it was thought provoking, but definitely Sort of a music video. Yeah, definitely. Well, and Sound of Music's great. You know, if we're going to go further back, Sound of Music's great. But that's like a musical. So, but I like Sound of Music. I think that's a lot of fun. But yeah, Oh Brother Where Art Thou definitely features music as a big part of it. So I would definitely consider that close to being one of those. So then today we start working on these pentatonics, just shifting everything up to the 5th fret. So, and then I'll probably work on that again Wednesday. We'll do a different snippet or something. There's a snippet right here. Nice. Let's see. Blackberry Smoke do a cool cover of Constant Star. Constant Star is a great song, isn't it? Really, really good song. And I think T-Bone Burnett produced the music on that, if I'm not mistaken. He's a great producer, who I've known for, gosh, I've known him since the 80s. Not well. I mean, he wouldn't know my name if he saw me, but I remember meeting him in the 80s. He was producing Orange County Christian bands. That's how he started. Yeah, I know, right? Singing with it. Well, we were at church this weekend, and it was fun to be on stage singing and playing songs I know, and I don't have to think about too much, and I can sing when I know the song. I can sing along better. So that second scale is the fun one. It's like it's kind of weird looking, and it doesn't lay down as well as, you know. That lick is not. It's like it's different. Yeah, I guess you got it there, but it's just it doesn't feel the same as, you know, like that. It's just a little weird. Anyway, I've been going forever. This has been 2.5 hours. Are you kidding me? All right, I'm going to sign out now. I'll see you on Wednesday. I got to get some work done here, and then maybe Friday morning, but we'll see. I'm not gonna be here, but I may log in. Oh, he wrote the song, That Thing You Do, Fountains of Wayne, or he wrote the screenplay. Yes, both. Yeah, Alex. Oh, the song. Okay. That makes complete sense. It's a very good, very, very authentic sounding 60s pop tune. I mean, they really, you know, without making it sound too much like something that pre-existed, they created, that's very, very, very difficult to do, to create something that sounds like it came from an era, but doesn't sound too much like another thing. Hey, Paul Meyer, good to see you. Yeah, so we'll continue on these. Oh, dang it! These scales here. There. These scales here on Wednesday. We'll dig a little deeper into those. Like I said, Bruce, I may re-up them with the roots turned blue. So the first one will be, I'll put all the G's will be blue. The second one, I'm going to make all the C's blue, and the third one, I'll make all the D's blue. So you can kind of see those. Okay, good to see you all. I agree, Darren. And gosh, we had a crazy peak there. It was just like shot up to 59, 60. It hit 60. It's at one point, but it just, I don't know why. It went from 35 to 60 in a split second, and then it started slowly down. So I'm not sure what happened there. Analytics are weird. But I will, as soon as I hit end stream, I'll tell you how many new subs we got, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks, everyone.